Welcome to the Prime Minister's Veterans Employment Awards 2020.
The Australian Defence Force invests very heavily in its people. The training is second to none. And of course, part of the training instills a great value of discipline and an ability to maintain that discipline in the most challenging of circumstances. I have found that veterans are an asset to any team. They have a great capacity to collaborate, come together and work effectively. Those skills that they hold translate very well into the business environment and provide a basis for competitive advantage for any company that employs them.
Over the past few years, I've been able to see firsthand the impact the Prime Minister's Veterans Employment Program and the awards have had on helping veterans find meaningful employment after their military service. We understand that employment is a key factor in supporting health and well-being. The government is committed to supporting our military personnel transition from their service to successful employment.
Our business leaders are asking us, how can we get more and more of these veterans?
All people who are currently serving, be assured of what you've learned and experienced in your defence time. Those are so valuable to any employer.
What I've realised from my journey out of the Army is that I was actually really well prepared for a career in the civilian sector, but I just didn't realise it.
It's an amazing feeling helping these men and women, and you can see the smiles. They're really happy that they've got an employment, but also that they've got a career pathway.
There is no other cohort of individual available to you better than Australian Defence Force personnel.
Don't go into an opportunity with a closed mind and just present who you are. Present who you can be and show what you can actually do.
It's really important to have people around you that back you, because everybody goes through moments of doubt. So having people around you, whether that's your boss or teammates or your family, that says, yeah, you got this, it makes a really big difference.
Look, military guys are really good at planning and executing and leadership and management, but I think all of that, if you have empathy and you understand people and you actually care for them and you care what they can achieve, then you'll achieve success and they'll achieve success.
Well, this year we received a record 129 nominations for the awards, demonstrating the value employers place on their veterans and their employment programs. The judges had a challenging job this year. Finalists for this year's awards were selected from across the country, representing private and public sector organisations and individuals from a variety of professions.
I'm very proud that the program is achieving more and more as each year goes by. It's an absolute pleasure to be involved with such a successful program.
Veterans Employer of the Year, Small.
Veterans are a group of people who have been serving and are motivated to continue to give and serve. It's our responsibility as a business community to support them in that transition.
We ensure they have meaningful employment with us by them going out into the community and seeing the positive impacts they're having both in an education role and on a clinical aspect as well.
Veteran employment is important to myself and Hensoldt Australia because it allows us to provide a seamless transition from team environment within the Defence Force to a team environment outside the Defence Force.
The winner of the 2020 Veterans Employer of the Year Small Award is Emergency Australia.
Our veterans have had numerous deployments and operational experiences. As employers, we need to capitalise on that leadership and skill set. Emergency Australia is a certified Australian veteran-owned business, so we provide medical support, training and work health safety solutions. Any veteran can go out there and find a job. Finding meaningful employment can sometimes be the tricky part. We ensure they have meaningful employment with us by them going out into the community and seeing a tangible result of the positive impacts they're having both in an education role and clinical aspect as well.
We're running a diploma course for civilians and ex-military members to get a diploma in paramedical science. One of my duties is to help with instruction using my background and my knowledge, bring in the trauma aspect of the course.
Once they've completed their studies, we provide them with a reference and then they get into university, get their degree, and then we re-employ them or they go off to the state services.
The process has been real smooth. Sean's been super helpful. It's a fantastic organisation and they've walked me straight through the diploma. It's been great.
The course through Emergency Australia was really good. Managed to tick off a lot of the boxes that I needed. I struggled a little bit when I first got out in the civilian world, and through Emergency Australia they definitely helped me kind of link up with other veterans outside the normal scope of veteran support staff.
Without our veteran employees, we wouldn't be where we are today. It's crucial for our business and it's provided us with a unique aspect to our operations. We're proud to provide employment for other veterans.
Veterans Employer of the Year, Medium. Proudly supported by Westpac.
I want to make sure that everybody goes through a smooth transition process as I did. They feel secure and they feel like they have a place to go to when they finish their defence career.
Veteran employment is important because it is just such a rich asset when it comes to ethics, comes to value adding to the community, which is invaluable.
It's probably one of the best things you'll do. And we've seen astronomical amount of compliments come to our business.
The winner of the 2020 Veterans Employer of the Year Medium Award is Aero PM.
Everyone in defence comes out with different skill sets, and it's our job to make sure that when they start their role as a consultant, that they can achieve the outcomes they need to in the best way they can. As a 22-year veteran employment is extremely important to me. I want to make sure that everybody goes through a smooth transition process. They feel secure and they feel like they have a place to go to when they finish their defence career.
For our recruits, we put them through a training program which is designed specifically around them understanding the differences between being a consultant in the workplace and being a defence employee. So we talk them through and do some role-playing and scenarios to help them appreciate the difference. And then we also run some training programs as well for the team as a whole, which are for professionalisation.
So I still felt the need to provide a service back to Australia, and this was the perfect company to jump on board with to keep doing what I love to do. The support that I've received from Aero PM has been brilliant. It's made the transition very, very smooth and very comfortable, and it's kept me and my family at ease during the whole period of transition.
Veteran employment is really important for Australia. It's important in terms of a corporate social responsibility, and it's important for us to give back to those veterans who've sacrificed so much for their country.
Veterans Employer of the Year, Large.
For us, veterans employment is core to our business. It's not a program we do on the side. It is our business.
Regardless of your injury, your circumstances, we can find a role for you that's sustainable, have flexibility around your rehabilitation and help you go on and achieve things.
I don't think employers to this day still know the benefits that veterans bring. It's a completely untapped resource.
The winner of the 2020 Veterans Employer of the Year Large Award is Rheinmetall Defence Australia.
Rheinmetall believes it's important to be recognised for our contribution to veterans' engagement, to raise the profile that it doesn't need to be a handout. The way that our program works is it's targeted and centred around each veteran individually. We go through the extra effort to make sure that the veteran is the centre of a support network and that Rheinmetall is the stepping stone for them to move from military into civilian life.
When you first leave defence, you really need to break down and demystify the civilian workplace. There's too much fear around it at the moment. I don't speak this way and I'm a veteran and I'm a little bit different. So we designed it to bring people in, regardless of whether they're wounded, injured or ill, or they just need to transition from defence. We sit down with the person as an individual, assess their injuries, their goals, where they want to be, and basically fit them into the company in positions that they'd like to experience. The first person that approached us when we piloted this program was another amputee. Traditionally, people like that just get their pensions and they're not encouraged to evolve or move on to that next phase of work after defence life. And I believe that's a cultural change that programs like this can really make. Regardless of your injury, your circumstances, we can find a role for you that's sustainable, have flexibility around your rehabilitation and help you go on and achieve things.
The award for Outstanding Veterans Employer of the Year is selected from a pool of winners from the Veteran Employer of the Year category. It recognises an organisation which demonstrates an ongoing commitment to supporting and enriching the lives of veteran employees. The winner of the 2020 Outstanding Veterans Employer of the Year award is AeroPN.
Because both Adam and Emily are both veterans themselves, they understand the sort of thought processes and what's going through your head as far as making that step from uniform service into working as a corporate support person. So whilst I thought it was going to be a huge step and very, very nervous about that transition, they made it very, very simple and easy, which was brilliant.
For transitioning veterans, it's really important to have mentoring. Enabling mentoring is actually a one-on-one situation, so you can provide that real personalised support to people to help them either personally or professionally along their journey.
Everyone in defence comes out with different skill sets, and it's our job to make sure that when they start their role as a consultant, that they can achieve the outcomes they need to in the best way they can. You have to remember, most of these people in defence have spent their entire lives fighting for promotion, fighting for that next role, and a lot of them have neglected their family members for a long period of time. Not intentionally, but because that's the demands of the job when you're in service. As a result, a lot of the people that work for us would like to come back to working 40 hours a week, have some flexible workplace arrangements, and see their family a lot more. And that's what we can provide them. So we're not having to fight to climb up that corporate ladder. What we provide is a very balanced work-life arrangement for our individuals in our company.
Veteran Employee of the Year.
This job is important to me because I get to use a lot of my skill experience attained whilst I was serving in defence. You can really add value and provide leadership.
The skills and experience I gained in the Defence Force have helped me really focus on execution, building a great team to be high performing and finding a way to make things happen.
It's really important that the team are really values driven. It underpins every business decision that I make, and I really want to make a difference.
The winner of the 2020 Veteran Employee of the Year is Davor Strabak of Suncorp Group.
I think Davor is a great example of someone who at first found transition challenging but overcame. When I was preparing the nomination for Devore, it occurred to me that over a 4-year period, Devore had gone from packing shelves at Woolworths after finding the transition challenging to leading the entire physical security team at the Suncorp Group.
Since starting at Suncorp, I have been involved in the advocacy effort around the veterans, reservists and defence families. And we've made great strides in recent times. We have great support internally from our senior leadership. We are making meaningful changes. This job is important to me because I get to use a lot of my skill experience attained whilst I was serving in defence. From a planning and from a strategic point of view, you can really add value and provide leadership in that area. It is that feeling that you're making a difference, that you're helping somebody be able to do their job in a safe manner.
I know there are many veterans out there that do find the first step challenging. Devore is a great example of what happens when you apply perseverance and continue looking for that opportunity to demonstrate your skills and capabilities in the workforce.
Veteran Entrepreneur of the Year.
When we started, we had a small team. Today we deploy around about 500 technicians across the country.
What you put in is what you get out of that business. So if you put in the effort and the hard work, it will pay off.
It's definitely important for me to find veterans in meaningful employment. Problem's not done, and I won't stop until it's finished.
The winner of the 2020 Veteran Entrepreneur of the Year Award is Jeremy Holder of TACMed Australia.
So TACMed Australia, we're a first aid company, but we specialise in bringing the lessons learnt from our experiences on the battlefield to our first responders and high-risk workplaces. We'll offer training, equipment and consultancy to workplaces that have a real risk of serious injury or death. So TACMed has grown rapidly, and certainly in the last 2 to 3 years, we have on average around about 10,000 orders a year. 70% of our employees are veterans. A lot of them have work ethic, they're disciplined, they're self-starters, and even jobs that they don't want to do, they just get on with it and do the job.
I think it's because of the nature of Jez and the business that he's built that good people are attracted to working here. You know, we have a particular ethos, a particular culture, and that's been a fabulous place to find myself. Jez has got a great creative mind. He has a really innate sense of fairness, and his values are displayed daily in the way he thinks and the way he manages our business.
What you put in is what you get out of a business. So if you put in the effort and the hard work, it will hopefully pay off. Nothing brings me greater joy than when we get an email, a phone call or a message on social media to say a piece of our equipment or some of our training has gone on to save someone's life.
Public sector excellence in supporting veteran employment.
One of the things that sets this particular program apart is the development of the support not only of veterans, but also their families as well.
I think the program's been successful because veterans feel as though the skills that they bring on the day are recognised and have the right supports in place to help them build the areas that they need to focus on.
I think the programs that are run here within the Victorian public sector are very useful for veterans because they enable them with all the information they need to be successful.
The winner of the 2020 Public Sector Excellence in Supporting Veteran Employment Award is the ACT Public Service.
The ACT government has made a very clear decision that we want to be a leader in the employment, retention and the support of our veterans.
The
The reason why I believe that employing ex-Defence Force members in the ACT Public Service is that they bring a diversity to the workplace, and we know how important a diverse workplace is in terms of building a learning culture and also delivering the best outcomes to the citizens of the Territory.
We do know that there's a difficulty at times in the language that is used around employment. The language that's used in the Defence Force isn't quite the same that's used on Sevy Street. One of the things that we've done is developed an employment and transition guide for people looking to employ our veterans. So for people who are looking to be employed in the public service, it's a matter of helping them know how it is that they might be able to put together an application, what are the sorts of things that they'll be coming across along the way, and also how it is that we can support them as part of that.
The Veterans Mentoring Program supports individuals who are engaged in the program to build professional networks and their career skills, so they have an opportunity to develop their understanding of the structures and culture of the ACT Public Service.
It makes it easier for people to be able to not only apply for jobs, but also receive and understand the applications. There's a really broad range of initiatives there, all designed to help make the ACT Public Service a leader in the employment and the retention of our veterans.
Excellence in supporting veteran employment, proudly supported by Eclipse.
The Defence Trade Program was developed to support veterans and encourage and give them the support to take up a trade career.
I think hand on heart we can say that we've indirectly supported the transition of thousands of ex-servicemen and women.
We've got a program that helps veterans discover the things that they're really, really good at, provide them free accredited training, and then keep training them to help them remain competitive in that new career path.
The winner of the 2020 Excellence in Supporting Veteran Employment Award is East Coast Apprenticeships.
The Defence Trade Program was developed by East Coast Apprenticeships to support veterans transitioning out of service, encourage and give them the information and the support to take up a trade career. It's extremely important to tailor the program towards the individual. Each one has a different background, each one has different circumstances, talents, profiles and skills and experiences.
The way the course is structured and provided by the staff and the team is just phenomenal. There's no rushing. We're given the fundamentals that we require to make it out into the workforce. To start off with, I was the primary carer at home. My wife was at work, so I had the two kids to worry about, so I had school runs and daycares and after-school activities and everything to factor in.
Many of them will say to me, now I have a pathway to follow. And I think that's really, really important for them. Once they know where to go and they've made that decision, then it gives them meaning and purpose. It gives them a respect for what's ahead of them in their life.
Alan's been so valuable to me in this whole process because he's been a shoulder to lean on. You know, he's the CEO of a massive organisation, and to know that I've got him by my side every step with everything that I've thrown at him, it really does. It makes me emotional to think that I finally have someone there that's really got my back, just like it was in the army.
Excellence in supporting spouse employment.
The spouses are a significant part of who we are, and supporting them directly connects back to how we support our members and the ADF.
When spouses find employment through our program, our support doesn't stop there. To ensure that the spouse is supported, we're there for them.
It's lovely to know that you've assisted somebody who may still be wanting to stay at home because they don't feel that there's anything out there for them. Being able to see these people going on to employment, best job out.
The winner of the 2020 Excellence in Supporting Spouse Employment Award is RSL Queensland.
The RSL Queensland Employment Program was designed to assist veterans and their partners in finding suitable, long-term and sustainable employment post-service and during service and for their partners. The program aims to find a renewed sense of purpose in military veterans, as well as supporting their partners through the disruptions that are part of military life. Rather than having a very cookie-cutter approach, RSL Queensland has focused on a really individualised approach to support veterans and their partners.
This program is really important for defence spouses because it allows us to get back to meaningful employment and feel like we're a contributing member of our household. The most valuable thing I learnt from the program was the interview coaching. It was really invaluable to me. Being able to go into an interview setting, it can be really nerve-wracking, knowing what's on your resume and how to articulate what you want to get across. And also it teaches you to be open to new opportunities and feedback as well.
Industry is now at a point where they've recognised these skill sets and are starting to unlock these key characteristics of spouses and optimising these lived experiences and these attributes that spouses bring to their organisation and finding great outcomes in doing so.
The award for outstanding contribution by an individual to veterans' employment recognises an individual who has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to promoting the employment of veterans and ensuring that veterans are well supported by employers. The late Darren Edwards, former Vice President and Managing Director of Boeing Defence Australia, is posthumously recognised as the 2020 winner of the Prime Minister's Veterans Employment Award for outstanding contribution by an individual to veterans' employment. Darren is a most deserving recipient. A former Army officer, Darren was a key driver of veteran employment within Boeing and the wider defence sector. Through Darren's leadership, Boeing has been at the forefront of recognising and promoting veterans' unique skills and experience, offering work placements and mentoring, and partnering with a range of veteran support organisations. In 2018, Darren joined the Prime Minister's Industry Advisory Committee on Veterans Employment and soon after became chair of the Communications Working Group. In this role, he helped promote and launch the Prime Minister's Veterans Employment Commitment, ensuring that Boeing was a founding signatory. An admired leader, Darren's commitment to his fellow soldiers did not end when he took the uniform off. He will long be remembered for his tireless work in improving the lives of veterans. Thank you for watching the 2020 Prime Minister's Veterans Employment Awards. Congratulations to all our award nominees, finalists, and winners.
It's important for us to give back to those veterans who've sacrificed so much for their country.
Every day we get up and come to work purely and solely to help other veterans transition into their new careers. That belief and that passion keeps driving us forward every day.
They bring aptitude, attitude, problem-solving skills. They are loyal, they are committed to getting the job done.
We've got people here who have served the nation, have made in many cases significant sacrifices, and it behoves us not to give them a hand out, but certainly a hand up in that transition out of service life.
Getting this job meant a lot. It was really like coming home just without a uniform.
They are incredibly adaptable, and if you take a chance with them, I'm absolutely certain you will be very, very well rewarded.
Ex-defence employees bring a dedication to duty and a comfort with complexity that is hard to replicate in the real world.
I'd like to congratulate all the finalists across the 8 categories. You should all be very proud of your achievement, and thank you very much for being involved in this wonderful program.
To me, it's something that just needs to be done as a society. We're in a position to fix it ourselves or try and make a little bit of a dent in it. So to me, it's an ethical obligation and it's a completely untapped resource. I don't think employers to this day still know the benefits that veterans bring.
We're helping to shape the thinking of a lot of veterans that they don't need to be pigeonholed into these stereotypical places. The skill sets that you have can be used across a wide spectrum of different industries and different jobs.
That is probably one of the best things you'll do. You won't understand the capability of the person you employ until you start to use them, and they don't understand their capability.
They're disciplined, they're self-starters, and even jobs that they don't want to do, they just get on with it and do the job.
They have the strength, the determination and the dedication that you don't find in a lot of people.
Veterans bring a wisdom, they bring an experience, they bring a training, they bring a commitment that every single employer should be proud to have.
Don't get caught into the trap of, I used to do this. Retrain and go for it.
For us, veterans employment is core to our business. It's not a program we do on the side, it is our business.
You do need help. What we have to remember is there is plenty of support out there for us.
From having been through it myself, some of the challenges really pertain to a misunderstanding of your own potential as a ADF employee going out into the wider world.
This job is important to me. The simple fact you get to help people.
Problem's not done, and I won't stop until it's finished.
It's lovely to go home of a night time and know that you've assisted somebody who may feel that they can't go anywhere, that they've got no opportunity. Best job out.
Don't make the same mistake I did and fall into the trap thinking that that's it. There's no life after the army. There is. Whether you take on an apprenticeship or you find yourself in business or you find yourself volunteering, give yourself some purpose. From a personal level, it's the only reason I'm still kicking.